Google launched something called as AI overviews, right? And I'm not
Hmm.
sure, Shiva, if you've tried it out, but what AI
No.
overviews does is, uh,
I
uh,
did see. Is it what appears when you search for something? Oh, okay, okay.
exactly.
I
So
didn't
what
even
they've done
notice. I
is,
didn't even notice. Yeah.
even honestly speaking, even I did not, because I'm so used to probably getting into the links and then probably because I want to probably curate the list of links that I want to go through, right? So what they've done is when you search a query along with the links, etc., that you get, feeling lucky, that they were functionality that they were actually giving. They summarize the overall results, right, in probably 4 to 5 lines at the top, on the top, right. So while obviously a very good feature if you really look at it, because if you're in a hurry and you probably just want a very initial understanding of the search output, it's a very good feature to give. But as usual, what has happened this time with Google again is uh, that the output that the users have been getting in many of these use cases is not really good, right?
Hmm.
So again, this is something that I've noticed, right, Shiva, is honestly speaking, I don't think so. It's the model's fault, right? It's the way the use
I
cases of or the search
I
happens.
remember. I remember. I think they were comparing with Perplexity, isn't it? That particular feature with
Ex-
Perplexity is this. Oh,
exactly.
okay.
It was a whole news that now Perplexity is gone, right? What's the future of Perplexity
Ah,
with Google
yeah.
bringing this into, right? If you remember that,
Exactly. Yeah,
comparison.
I remember. I do
But
remember that. Yeah.
and this is just my observation, right? What I've seen. While obviously there are multiple negative feedbacks around it. AI overviews, when you're doing a direct search, like probably, show me, top 10 getaways from New York for weekend, right? It probably gives a brilliant summary because it's just a factual information, right? But where probably it's failing is when I'm asking directive questions, like probably, for example, uh, I have, XYZ ingredients and what I can probably make from them, right? And that's where it actually fails. And one of the instances that one of the users had actually given, how do I ensure that, the veggies on my pizza do not slip away, right? And
Hmm.
the AI summarization had given use glue to fix it, right? Because it's not able to get context, right? That's the challenge, right? Another
Use
issue
glue to
was
fix it. Okay.
exactly right. And another issue was because since it's actually going, it's again using web data, right? Web based data. So when you are getting into links, you can, as a human, obviously, you can decide what information to use, what not to use. But the model is not able to do that. So in one of the use cases where the user had asked is, who's the first, Muslim president, right, of United States, and it actually said, Obama, because that's a myth that was floating around. So it probably got that from one of the myth links, and it actually just stated over there, right? So my this is just my theory. What it's able to give, right, is good summarization of factual information, very direct facts that I'm asking. But when it comes to derivative, etc., it's not able to, summarize well. Now, obviously, as usual, what Google has said is that there are multiple failures in the model, and they've accepted it, right?
Uh,
But
I'm really trying to think in this whole generative AI. I would say the last 1 year. What did Google get right? Did they
the
get anything
demos
right?
in their
Probably Gemma too.
yeah, I mean, probably from the early stage models perspective, I agree, Shiva. And I think one
Hmm.
one good work that they're also doing is because they're using MedPalm, right, in one of our healthcare use cases, right. Well, I'm not saying it's probably one
Hmm.
of the perfect models. Like we find Open Biolama to be better. So some of these
Yeah.
domain specific use cases they're definitely solving, right. But I think in the catch up game, what's happening, and the same thing happened with Gemini Images, right, which was giving very like very biased
Yeah.
results,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
had to withdraw it,
Not
if you
not just
remember.
by inaccurate results.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in this case also, what they've done now is, while they've not withdrawn the feature altogether, but what they've done is in very critical situations, like if you're searching anything which is medical report or healthcare related, right, or breaking news related, they're not going to give this, right? But in probably generic test search results, they're going to give it, right? So again, while it's a brilliant feature, but again, the feedback to Google is that they really need to test out their features better before they release it to the market, not just a play catch up game, right?
Yeah, I mean, because the whole thing that you just described seems to be something that OpenAI can do in its sleep. But Google had to take so much effort and release, and still it turns to be a dud. That's interesting.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Right, it's the catch-up game, probably, Shiva, which probably is really hitting them hard, right? But yeah, I mean, again, let's see how they overcome this another failure, or probably I will not call it a failure, but probably a step back, a setback in their overall strategy, right?
I mean, literally, if you see AWS and Google are playing the catch up game, and Microsoft could have been doing the same if not for the strategic partnership that they cracked. So with OpenAI,
So
other
and see one thing which I probably I believe is that they're actually not they're making the strategy as they're going ahead, right? And like one instance probably to give is that they paid a couple of months ago they paid Reddit $60 million, stating that they're going to use Reddit data to probably train these models. It's actually the the inferencing that they've built. And just after this fiasco, they've stated that they're not going to use blog-based data for the summarization. They're just going to use factual information, right? So, I mean, did they think about Reddit information when they were doing that? They did not. After
they
using it,
did
they
not.
realized that the systems are biased. I mean, you cannot use opinions to probably build these systems, right? Because they're completely biased, incorrect, and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, I
Also
mean,
the also the fake images, like you said, the fake screenshots and fake images, even
exactly,
though they are like, yeah,
exactly, right. So yeah, so I'm all. I mean, again, while a behemoth, but I think at this time they're thinking, not thinking long term, but they're thinking as they're going ahead, right? So